Okay, so Wednesday evening Q&A as organised slightly later than expected. What time is it? 8 English time, 9 here. So I'm going to run through some of the questions people have asked and sent through today. If anyone has any other questions, by all means drop them in the comments or post them in the question section here on the IG Live. So first question, which is why the sugary cereal after training, and do I still eat it when cutting? Yes, so I would eat cereal post-workout, which I have done for a long time now, even up to like when I was competing before. I would still have that post-workout. There's no issue at all with having that. In terms of type of cereal you'd be looking to have, I look for any type of cereal which is low fat and high carbohydrates. You'd be looking for anything, for example, which has less than 4 grams of fat per 100 grams, so it's less than 4% fat. Something like a granola, for example, would not work very well at all. So that would be something you're looking to avoid because it would have a very high fat content. The reason we want to try and avoid the high fat content is because it slows the digestion of the carbohydrates. So after working out, we want to try and spike our insulin to get a response. Therefore, we want fast-acting carbohydrates which can be easily digested. That's why cereal works very well. In particular, rice-based cereals such as a Cocoa Pops digest very, very well in the stomach, so you shouldn't have any issues digestively from that. Plus, they work very well in terms of killing the sweet cravings. A very common question I get as well is what would you have with that? I would avoid a lactose sort of like dairy milk. I'd go for something like an almond milk or a coconut milk, or you could use an oat milk if you wanted to. Additionally, you could use, instead of a cereal, you could have something like oats, although the fibre and fat content is much higher. It will bloat you out a lot to get enough carbohydrates in if you need to get a lot of carbs post-workout. So that would be the reason why I would suggest using that post-workout. So my favourite cereals of choice would be obviously Cocoa Pops, Golden Grahams, cornflakes work well, Cheerios. That's probably the main ones, but they would be the mainstays of what I would have. So there you go. I have also discussed this in depth on my YouTube channel, so if you have a look on there, there's a swipe up link on my story from today which explains it in more detail. Next question, how old am I? Far too old, 29. Next question, when am I coming to Malaysia? Never been, but it's quite a long way away, so it's on the list perhaps. Next question, if you've been taking creatine capsules and start taking the powder, do you still need to load or maintenance phase? So that's a bit of an urban legend myth that has been created by supplement companies, the loading phase, and the idea that you need to take a mass amount of creatine when you start taking it to get the muscle saturated with it. Realistically, that isn't something you need to be doing. I would always just suggest to take 5 grams of creatine on a training day, have it either pre-workout, intra-workout or post-workout. Ideally, I would have 5 grams of creatine intra-workout, you'll find should work best for you. So there we go. Best way to get rid of cellulite. Not really something I specialise in, but I would suggest with that you're probably looking at something to do with more skincare and creams rather than looking at burning more fat. Once you've got the fat off, obviously it should make the biggest difference. Next question, what's the best heart rate for burning fat? So for steady state long duration cardio, I would recommend around 130 to 140 beats per minute is optimal. Down to 120. Anything less than 120 is not really intense enough. If you're going more than 140, 150, you're probably pushing it too much if you're doing longer steady state cardio. So I wouldn't really recommend going higher than 150. Question. Currently using animal cuts seem to help try to lose weight. So fat burners like that generally don't actually really make that much difference. The only thing they tend to do is they have more caffeine in them, which makes you move around more and be more energetic. Therefore, you burn more calories. So realistically, they won't make a massive difference. They also tend to have something called chromium in them, which will suppress your appetite, which can help get lead. Question, best glute movement, probably a barbell thrust would probably work best in my opinion, or wide stance squat is very, very good. Will ACV make you lose muscle if you consume it while fasting? Apple cider vinegar, no. I think what ACV was then. Apple cider vinegar won't make you lose weight at all. That makes no sense at all. You won't lose muscle mass from that. So apple cider vinegar is very good for your digestive system. Other than that, it's not going to cause you any reason to lose muscle mass. Uses of creatine to build muscle mass actually improves brain function, and it can actually help with calorie burning. It increases ATP, which is atrazine phosphate, I think that's how you pronounce it. Question, what's the hardest exercise? It depends in what respect. The most typical exercise I find a person can't get on with biomechanically is a front squat. So I find it very difficult to hold the bar in the upper body position because my body's not very well designed for squatting because I have long femurs in my legs. Therefore, it doesn't work very well. Hence why you'll see me doing a lot of squats at the moment with my heels raised. So biomechanically, it puts me in a better position. What is my current training split? So at the moment, I'm doing a 2-on, 1-off training split, which I've designed. So I do chest, delts, triceps, and then I do back, and then I rest, and then I do... I do back and hamstrings, and I rest, and then I do delts and arms, and then I do legs, which is more of a quad dominant leg session. So it's a 2-on, 1-off, repeat. So chest, shoulders, triceps, then back and hamstrings, rest, shoulders and arms, and then legs, which is more quad dominant, and then rest, and then back to chest. So that's what I'm currently doing at the moment. Next question. My lower back hurts during squatting, then don't squat. Chances are similar to me, you're probably not designed particularly well for squatting where you've got a lot of tightness, so I wouldn't do it. What are your thoughts on carb blockers? I only go to a load of rubbish. You've answered your own question there, a load of rubbish. Biggest load of bullshit, and I don't actually know how they're legally allowed to sell anything like that. So again, that's the supplement industry trying to like rip people off and just con people to make money. Next question, do I have a specific day for core? Do I incorporate into a daily workout routine? So I try to do something every other day, but on rest days when I'm not actively training with weights, I look to do more abdominal work, just to try and spread the load out over the week. Have I ever worked with any MMA fighters? I've had a few people who are boxers, and I've had a couple of professional athletes in terms of a female rugby international player. So I've worked with quite a few athletes at a high level, but none specific to MMA. Next question, will I be doing any more videos with Dorian Yates? Yes, so the latest one I've done has obviously been incredibly popular. I think we're like 20,000 views in about a week on YouTube, so we will be doing another one. I'm going to do a leg session to complete the series. I'm also going to upload onto all my clients' training programs, so if they want to give it a go, the chest, shoulders, triceps workout that I did with him about a week or so ago, so that will be onto their app system for all my one-to-one clients. You will get to have a go on his session. Next question, will you fit an Easter egg into your macros this weekend? No, but I am going to have a YouTube video on that, so there will be a YouTube video of how to eat an Easter egg within your macros and the best timing for it. Advice for beginners on how to start your diet. Have a structured approach and be realistic, so don't look to be a perfectionist with everything, and then just try and stay consistent overall over a period of time and you'll get results. But I would highly suggest getting someone to set you up with a right start. Next question, what are digestive enzymes? So digestive enzymes that help you break down food. So if you don't have the correct digestive enzymes within your stomach, your body can't absorb the nutrients properly, so it is imperative that you have those. I take one first thing in the morning every day, and then use the Solgar brand of digestive enzymes, which I find work really well. So I would highly recommend Solgar health products to anyone. Has anyone else got any other questions? By all means, shoot away. Next one. You've got a holiday in 6 weeks. Best advice to get as lean as possible. Sign up for my training programs. Other than that, I would suggest look to drop your carbohydrates on rest days. So have high protein, fat on days you're not weight training. Days you are weight training, I would look to have your carbohydrates around training. And I would incrementally increase cardio. So I'd start, if you can do, add in some cardio every day. If you can do it fast first thing in the morning and train with weights in the evening or later in the day, that will be optimal. How can I lose my muffin top belly and gain lean muscle? You need to put yourself in a calorie deficit and do some training, my friend. Why am I not watching the football? I have a feeling this is why the IG Live is quiet, because the Champions League is on. Because I'm not that into football anymore. I used to be a massive fan. I used to be into it with Man United for my sins. So there we go. Here we go. One of our clients, Paul. Oh God, I'm the worst person for never procrastinating. How's the podcast looking? Any progress yet? I'll tell you how far I got with this, Paul. I got all the equipment out, I plugged it all in, I got all the software set up, and I was having issues setting it up, and then I ran out of time. So it's a work in progress. It's on the list of stuff that it will get done. I can see the laughing face. So yes, it will get done. The people that I would want to have as must-have guests. So Dr. Dean Smart's one of the first ones on there. Dorian Yates is one I'd be keen to get on there because that'd be quite a cool experience. One of my friends, James Hollingshead, would be a very good one. Mark Coles is another chap who's a very interesting individual to speak to. Someone I'd like to, but I don't think I'll be able to get on there, would be Jay Cutler because I'm a big fan of his. But I'm open to any suggestions. If you've got anyone you'd like to hear me interview Paul, by all means, let me know, and we can see if we can make it happen. Also want to try and make like a YouTube interview as well. My wife mentions the importance of seeing a physio. She had a semi-dislocated shoulder that she was unaware of, so we got that fixed, which is a good start. What are the best tips for going on stage for the first time? It's going to be your first competition. Do a shitload of posing practice, and the adrenaline will be mental. Luke Sandow is a great shout, actually, to be fair, for podcast. So I train at the same gym as him a lot of time, so I might try and weasel him onto that. I'm on your plan. I hate protein shakes and creatine. I better not be having them. If you message me, I can take them out of your plan, and then we can do that. It's not an issue. If I don't know you don't like something, then there's not a lot I can do about it. So an IG Live is probably not the appropriate place to say you don't like something on your training plan. So if you can send me a message on the client system, then we will get that changed for you, my friend. What do you eat before competition? So a lot of people go very wrong with this. So you see people go nuts eating loads of crap junk food. If you think about it logically, if you've been on a diet for a while and you haven't eaten any junk food, sweets, donuts, cookies, craps, why would you suddenly eat that the day you're going to go on stage? Because you think about it from a digestive point of view. If you think about it from a digestive point of view, I'm on the phone. If you think about it from a digestive point of view, that is not ideal.
I'll just
Can you come up? Can you go away?
I'm sorry.
Okay, so if you think about it from a digestive point of view, it's not ideal to have a load of junk food before you're going to go on stage when you don't know what's going to happen with your stomach reacting to that. So the last thing you want to do is have a load of bloating come on as you're going to go on stage and have digestive issues in your body and uptake the carbs. So I'd avoid eating crap junk food then. That's not ideal. Benefits, am I planning to compete myself? No. Benefits of faster cardio, your body will burn body fat at a better rate. Science doesn't necessarily agree with this, but anecdotally it works better with people. When you exercise a large muscle group, does it burn faster fat than cardio? That doesn't, not yes and no, because weight training and cardio are two different things, but in terms of burning fat, if you're doing a weight training session to focus on big compound movements, you can't, like, if you're doing bicep curl or you're doing a squat, what's going to burn more calories? The squat, obviously, because you're going to use a lot more load, a lot more weight, and you're going to burn through a lot more calories because you're using more muscle tissue. So that is why that will work best. Any other questions? Your back hurts when you do push-ups. Why is that? Probably because you've got a very weak core. So I would suggest that you would then look at doing something like a plank or a lot more core work. So if you go on my YouTube channel, I've got a new playlist called the Absolute Abs playlist, which has got a list of exercises that you can do. So there you go. Question, how to increase forearm size? Get very strong at doing back movements and your grip will have to get stronger and your forearms will get stronger. How many grams of protein do you need to build solid muscle? So I'd look for a minimum of gram of protein per pound of body weight. That would be the best thing to do. And that is it. I think it's in terms of questions as we go. Next, one more. How can I see more definition in my abs? Get leaner or also get thicker abs. So you can't necessarily grow your abdominal wall when you're dieting. So I'd look whenever you try and add on muscle tissue, so in a calorie surplus, that you try and add more thickness to your abs in terms of muscle density. So by doing a lot of ab training, try and get them stronger. And I think that pretty much wraps us up in terms of all the questions here. Best way to get rid of back fat. Again, get leaner. You can't site-specifically lose body fat. You just need to lose body fat overall, and eventually it'll come off from there. It's the last place that most people tend to find that they lose it is from their midsection and lower back for most guys. Here we go, next question. Who got you into weight training? Probably being an overweight child and in my teens, it's probably what initially started this, because I was very insecure and inconfident with my personal appearance, and also through rugby that got me into it as well, to be honest. And then I just enjoyed the process and I got addicted and hooked to it. Question: I work in weekly rotation shifts. How to diet? So you just need to have a different diet for each shift pattern that you have, and depending on the time of day you train, it's difficult to give you a specific answer without knowing any more detail than that. Any advice on fixing imbalances? It depends what the imbalances are, Sam. So I would suggest that you, if it's say like left to right side, focus on unilateral training. I put an Instagram post up about legs training, for example, when you have got a strength imbalance and focusing more on one side more than the other. And by doing leg extensions, hamstring curls, single leg press, single leg, and it works very, very well. So I would suggest giving that a try. Who are my biggest influences? It depends in what respect. There's a few people I learn a lot from. Business-wise, Mark Coles is a very intelligent chap. He would be the person I would recommend. He's had a big influence on me recently. I've learned a hell of a lot of that from training from him. From a science supplement base of things, Dean Smart is probably the most intelligent human being I've ever spoken to. He seems to have an answer to pretty much everything. Next question. I'm planning to use Animal Plum. Is it a good idea? How do you think? I have no idea what Animal Plum is. But chances are, if it's a supplement, it's probably not going to be as good as you think it's going to be, because that's the reality. And that is it. Ectomorph workout tip. There is no specific workout tips for ectomorph, so no matter who you are, it's all the same generally. Just focus on training correctly and intensely and actually training the correct muscle and it'll work. That's good to hear, Paul. The sleep stack is helping. That was actually designed by Dean. Yeah, Dean is the real deal. Yes, he knows his shit, so it makes a big difference. It's actually interesting looking at, I use an app called Sleep Cycle that shows the quality of your sleep, and I've been using that sleep stack for about 3-4 months, and I get about 10% higher quality of sleep every day, which is over a period of time will make a significant difference. So he's an incredibly intelligent guy and incredibly generous with his time, knowledge, and just wants to help people. And like most people, he's not just trying to rip people off and make money. So it's very pleasant to come across people like that. So also, Paul, your progress photo you sent me today. Paul's one of my clients who's on the Shred Nate program. I actually trained with him one-to-one about 2-3 weeks ago now, I think, Paul. And the progress photo I've seen, it's like mind-boggling. So anyone else who's on the program, but watch out. Brad Thomas, question: when would you incorporate drop sets, high rep sets in your workout? So I'd add that all into the end. So that's like metabolic training. So I'd always start with loading sets first. So heavy loading sets to get your muscle fibers firing at maximum intensity. And then towards the end of the session, you can add in muscle rounds, drop sets, high rep sets, just to try and fatigue the muscle more and get more of a sort of blood into the tissue. Any good trips planned for the summer? So I'm currently in Spain, in Marbella. I will be here a fair whack, and then we'll go to Mallorca in June, and now I'm going to Barcelona as well at the end of August. So there'll be a lot of trips to Spain, it looks like. Any other recommendations of where I should go, let me know. And I think that is it. Unless anyone else got anything else that's on here. Best time to take... Okay, so another supplement question. Best time to take carnitine pre or post workout. Don't take carnitine. It's not worth it. It actually doesn't do anything. Again, it's another supplement that's a con that I would not recommend wasting your money on. It is just a complete waste of space, so I wouldn't bother at all. That is it, I think. I think I've answered all your question. There you go, another one. What football team do you support? Obviously England, because I'm English, and Man United. I used to be a massive fan, and less so much recently because I don't really follow football anymore. Reason why, because I've lost all respect for them, because it's just money game, and there's not really, it's just commercial enterprise now, so I'm not really that interested in it. And plus I don't have much time, so that's a reality. But I hope that helps. I've answered all your questions. If anyone else has anything else, by all means drop me a direct message. Also on the Shred and 8 programme, the early bird offer is now gone. It's still available spaces. The programme starts on 6th of May at $99.99. If you'd like to get involved, drop me a message with any questions and we can crack on from there. Greg, question, that's the last one. Is it okay to train a muscle group once a week? We still get gains. Yes, you can get incredibly good gains, but you just have to make sure you train very, very hard. So make sure when you get in there that you kick your own arse and you make sure that you train very well. If you can train 3 times a week, I would suggest probably for 90% of people, you'd be better off doing a full body split or an upper lower split. You'll get more results from that than doing, say, chest once a week. If you could do like 2 sets of chest on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, instead of doing 6 sets of chest on a Monday, you'll get a lot more results faster because your training frequency will be a lot higher. Therefore, you will get better results because you can break down the muscle tissue more frequently and repair it and then have that cycle of recovery, which will improve your results. So hope that helps. Any other questions, by all means, drop me a message and have a great evening.